Well, hello there, YouTube. This is Mr. Gibson Guy. Thank you for stopping by the channel. If you haven't been to this channel before, you haven't seen this, I have a whole lot of photography videos, over 60 of them now. And check out the playlist for camera and photography videos, and you'll find I have a lot of different stuff on the internet. But if you haven't get a chance, check and like and subscribe to the channel and leave me a message and comment on that. Today I'm continuing on this saga of the Contax cameras of the late 70s and early 1980s. This is, of course, film cameras before digital and before the autofocus craze kind of ruined photography. So it's back in the golden era. This started out a couple of months ago when I came across a Contax 139Q camera, which you see here at the back of the picture. I bought this camera with the 50mm f1.7 Carl Zeiss T lens. Now that is a big mouthful right there for what's going on with this, but the Zeiss T lens series that you see a number of them here right now, I've been collecting around here lately. These are some real premium lenses, not your average run-of-the-mill 35mm camera lenses, but some very special ones. The big deal with the return of Contax and with the backing of Yashica going on there was that it enabled the 35mm camera user to have a camera which would take Carl Zeiss lenses, which were considered premium lenses, and they really are. I got the camera with the 50mm lens, as I just said, and then I started putting together everything that was the possibilities, and that was that this is more than just a really nice manual focus film camera. It also it lets you get into a whole bunch of really high quality premier lenses that probably are a bit noticeably better than a lot of other lenses that are out there in the vintage world. So what I did was, the first thing, I started looking up the prices. Prices were very high because these lenses are very much in demand for filmmakers and videographers to put on convert to putting on their digital cameras and using them for making videos, for making everything that's commercial or artistic output of electronic work. And so I've searched around, and the first thing I thought, I wanted to see if there was something real to the hype of these Carl Zeiss lenses. And I knew I couldn't get a real clear view of it with just one lens. I could use the 50 that I got, but I wanted to see if the Carl Zeiss line of lenses was really something that matched the hype. So what I did was I went and found the lowest price extra auxiliary lens that Carl Zeiss made that I could use, another one in the T-Star line, and that is this 200mm you see here just in front of the camera. And I got this lens for just under $100. And then I put film in the camera, and I put the camera with the two lenses, and I went out on a photo shoot. And I went through a roll of film pretty fast. I had some good light. It's winter time, and a lot of times we have really clear days and really rich colors and everything. So if the camera is going to give you some good pictures, this is the best chance it's going to have. So I loaded up the camera with some Fuji Color 200, and I hit the park and the lakefront in downtown Inverness, and went about shooting a roll of film. And then I brought it in to get it developed at the local CVS, and this was just a little bit before Christmas. So what that means is, if it's a little bit before Christmas, they're not going to work on it till New Year's. So finally, for New Year's, I got my pictures back, and I'll tell you something, in 50 years of photography, when you open up the envelope with your prints in it, I don't like prints. I like to shoot slides, transparencies, but it's pretty rare to find the film right now, and it's really expensive. But when you open up your package from the processor and you see the prints that they made, usually they're pretty disappointing, to say the least. The color is off, the pictures look flat, there's not much good going on. And I can really think of 2 times in my life when I opened up the package and looked at the pictures and said, wow. The first one was when I went on a beach trip with my family, the kids, and went to the beach in South Florida in the wintertime. You could go to the beach in the wintertime in South Florida. And I bought a used Nikon F2 Photomic with a 50mm f1.4 Nikkor lens. And I had bought a roll of film, Fuji film, that day. I think it was 100, but I put it in the camera. And we went to the beach, and I took pictures of the kids there at the beach, and playing in the ocean, and the nice rich blue Atlantic and the blue skies. Everything was clear. And then I went to the 1-hour photo right down the street, and had the pictures developed, and I picked them up, and I thought, I'm not holding out much hope for this. This is an old camera, and I don't know if it's going to be working at all, if anything's going to be. And I just looked picture after picture after picture. It was better than reality. It was amazing. And I had just picked up that Nikon F2 as something on the side because I found it for sale for a really good price, but I had all Minolta equipment. And after I looked at those pictures taken that same day that I just bought that camera, I thought, oh, I'm selling all the Minolta stuff and I'm buying Nikon. And I did. I sold all the Minolta stuff to KEH, and I started rebuilding my collection of cameras and lenses and everything, all in Nikon and Nikkor lenses. And I got, when I was finished with that, that's the basis of the cameras that I have now. I got an F3, an FM2, a whole bunch of different lenses, and that I became a Nikon photographer. So the second time that is more memorable of opening a pack of prints was when I opened up those prints from CVS, which I had no expectation for. I was just hoping that they came out, that I had shot with this Contax camera and these 2 lenses. And I wouldn't say that every picture was perfect, but perfectly exposed, because I had some very tricky lighting situations where in one part of the frame it was bright sunlight, and in another part of the frame it was down in the shadows and in the dark. And how does a camera expose that correctly? There's no way. But I had other pictures that the level of light was more balanced out throughout the frame, and I got beautiful pictures, beautiful colors, really sharp images. And it was right then I thought, these Carl Zeiss lenses really are special. They really make a difference. And I made that post. In fact, I'll put it down in the comments below, the link to that, to the post where I show the original pictures that I took, these prints, and I was like all on the Contax bandwagon now. So I went out and I thought, all right, I'm going to expand it here to a whole range of lenses. They're expensive compared to all the other lenses, but some of them are not too bad. Some of them are even actually kind of reasonable if you get just the right one. And so I bought these two lenses you see right in front, these three lenses you see right in front of you. The one closest to the camera is that's the 35 millimeter f2.8, and the one behind it is a 25 millimeter f2.8. So I have a 35 millimeter wide and a 25 millimeter wide. And then the next one going up would be the 50 millimeter that's on the camera. And then the third one in the line here is my short telephoto. This one, I was really excited about this, and I found a good price on it. It was a little bit dirty, but the glass was clean, and I've cleaned up the camera lens a lot, and it's working fine. This is the 85 millimeter, get this, f1.4, and f1.4 in an 85 millimeter is a pretty darn fast lens, and it's going to have if you shoot it wide open, it's going to have a real shallow depth of field. But it's, I looked at, they had an 85-28 at 2.8, and it was a little less expensive than this, but it was worth the extra bucks to go with the 1.4. So this is really great. And then, of course, those are the three new ones, and the one in the back is the 200 millimeter f3.5. So I have these two wide angles, one normal 50 millimeter and two telephotos. Now that's the ones that I happen to get. There are a few holes in what we've got here, and I think you figured it out. It's when you go from 50 to 85 is not a big jump, but from 85 to 200 is a big jump. And we're skipping a lot of sizes there. So what is not there, because I have to recharge my credit card before I go and get any more of these here, because they're not that cheap. But what is missing in the 85 to 200 range is a couple things. One is they have their own special 180 millimeter f2.8 lens, which is close to this one. This one is half stop slower speed and has an extra 20 millimeters in reach. So it's gives you about 10% more lens length and more close-upness to your subject from far away than the 180. And this, as I was saying, the 200 I got was I don't remember exactly, but it was just under $100, and that's really nice considering what I saw on those prints, because these prints were just amazing, and a bunch of them, about half of them, I shot with the 200, and it really reproduces all the rich colors just as well as the 50 does. So that's what sold me on it and got me going. But the 180 f2.8 is faster and a little bit shorter, and I don't know if it's worth it or not, but I found that I could get one with both lens caps for about $160 with shipping, or with free shipping. But that's not too much more. It's less than I paid for these other three lenses. Each one of those was just under 200, over 200, and over 300. by a pretty good amount. So if I don't know that I can convince myself to have the 200 and the 180, but for now I'll do that. But the real jewel of the camera bag right now would be this 85 f1.4, and the other one that would be a real jewel in the camera bag would be the, you will probably all guess the missing lens length here. Is it a 100 or is it a 135? Well, 85 to 100 is a pretty short leap, but a 185 to a 135, that's good. That's an extra 50 millimeters. That's a lot different. So that's kind of right in the middle there, and then it'd be 65 millimeters up to the 200. So the 135 is kind of like the 28 millimeter to me. It's just like the most common wide angle, or the 135, the most common telephoto, mild telephoto, and not anything that I've ever been excited about. But these contact lenses are really worth the investment because they really produce some great images. And what I'm thinking about is the 135 millimeter f2 that you can get from Contacts, another Carl Zeiss T lens, and those are basically running $500 and $600. But I've found a few that were in the $400 range. No, I don't mean like $499.99, but down, $460, $475, somewhere around there. And I can keep looking around. I don't want to spend the money right now because I kind of loaded up on lenses, but I may very well want to get that 135 that is an f2, because I kind of like getting some of these real fancy lenses, which are the fast ones. Those are in demand, and they're very nice lenses. But next thing I'm going to do now, this UPS just came by just before I made this video, and the next thing I'm going to have coming up is I've got to load some more film into this camera and take all 5 of these lenses outdoors to the lakefront and shoot some images with all of them on a day not like today, a day when we have blue skies and sunshine and not any clouds, which is what we have often in the winter, but not today. Today's a cloudy day, so it's good for letting some light in the window and shooting a video. But that's where it stands right now. What do you think? Are you interested in these Contacts lenses? As I said, I'm going to put the link in the description for my previous video. You can see the pictures that I made with these 2 lenses, the 50 millimeter and the 200. And then I'm going to do some more and mainly feature these other 3 lenses, the 25 millimeter, the 35 millimeter, and the 85 millimeter. All the 5s. And the other ones are all the 0s. So thank you for tuning in to the channel, and I'll let you know. Watch for this next video. It'll be up to how fast CDS can produce some more prints and hopefully not lose the film this time. So until the next time, this is Mr. Gibson Guy. Thanks for coming by, and I am out of here.